Hello, everyone. This is Councilmember Christine Ellis. I am sitting here in the studio today, but let me say this is an amazing studio. We have a state-of-the-art studio here and in Chandler, so we are here live talking to one of my really great friends about a subject that is very important to all of us here. But before I say that, let me say that this subject is going to matter to you, whether you're a man or woman, specifically women and women of color. We're going to be talking about skin cancer and what to do and what to look into when you are having these experiences. Another thing that is very important to me is because majority of those behind the camera here in the city, they are women. And ladies, I want to say hi to all of you for putting us in this environment that is so amazing for us to talk to today. Dr. G, oh my
Hello.
God, we've been talking since last year about doing this really wonderful live to educate, to empower women when it comes to their skin. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself to the audience and let them know who you are. And you are right here in Chandler with us.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I'm really excited to be here today. So I am Dr. Gamut from A to Z Dermatology.
Yes.
And I'm an owner and the founder of the practice.
Wow.
I've been in the business for 17 years. And we recently opened a practice in Chandler about 3 years ago.
3 years, that's not recent. That's a long time ago.
It is. And we have 5 locations throughout the valley. So we are here to serve the community. And I'm really excited to be here today with you.
Oh, well, wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. It is important for me when I'm talking about cancer, right, to bring someone who has the knowledge and who can expand on that. It really personal to me right now because my husband is experiencing that as we speak. Mm-hmm. He had other type of cancer, but right now skin cancer is what we're dealing with. Talk to us about that. Where does it derive? As a nurse today, I'm going to be talking pathology, epidemiology, cause, high risk. I'm not trying to get technical, but I really want to get into those areas so that people can get a good understanding of it.
And this is a perfect time as temperatures are rising a little bit. This is we are entering in May. And May is a Skin Cancer Awareness Month. So this is a perfect opportunity for me to talk to you about what we should look for when it comes to skin cancer.
Correct.
And many times we feel that the people with skin of color, we are absolutely protected from any kind of sun damage. But that's a myth.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yeah.
We still get skin cancer. So most of the time with people with skin of color like you and me, we tend to get skin cancer, which is a little bit more aggressive, more fatal. And usually it's on the area that we tend not to look for it. Wow. So we usually see them in the palm of our hands or bottom of our feet or in the nails. So we really need to make sure that we look at them. We look at our moles, we look at our hands and feet, and we see the dermatologist once a year.
Once a year, because prevention is what the best medicine,
That
right?
is correct.
Early prevention is the best prevention in my book. That's what we teach and that's what we encourage people to do. So now you describe something that I'm not really was even aware of. The nail bed can be cancerous.
So and many times you will have like a long dark line in your nails, especially, and then the dark lines in the nails are a first sign of possibly having a nail discoloration, but that looks normal. So that dark line looks normal.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to make sure.
You want to make sure.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is that you always want to get your nails checked, your skin checked, your hands and feet evaluated, because sun exposure can happen. And especially with us, when it's diagnosed, usually it's diagnosed at a very later stage.
That's right.
And then the outcomes are not favorable.
So pathologically speaking, what really makes us so prone as colored skin to the cancer that you're discussing? Why?
So I'm talking about a cancer which is more common, especially in skin of color, is what we call acral melanoma.
Yes.
So this is a skin cancer that's only found on acral skin, such as hands and feet. And I think one of the reasons it makes it more susceptible or more aggressive, because no one looks for it.
Yes.
So we'll probably have a little mole on the hand or a feet. It goes undiagnosed for years and years and years till it starts bleeding or it starts changing. And then we diagnose it and we do a pathology check. And yes, it is a melanoma, which is probably a pretty late stage melanoma.
Wow. So we talk about the pathology now, the high risk. Who do you see, the age group? We talk about darker skin people, which is also a category, ethnically speaking. So who else is prone to that? Are the children, middle-aged women, or men? What category are we in?
And that's a great question. I think that skin cancer is very, very common. In my clinic, I've seen skin cancer as young as 9-year-old with an abnormal mole on her scalp. So you can have a skin cancer in young patients, in a middle-aged patients, and mature patients, because it does not spare us with any age whatsoever. So getting your skin checked once a year and getting your moles checked by the dermatologist once a year is the best thing we can do.
Absolutely.
Because prevention is better than cure.
Correct. For us, it's important. So we talked about the risk. We talked about what it looks like and how to discover it, where to look for it. Now let's talk about what can we do about something. Let's say we see it right now, or we see it early in the game. What do we do at that point?
So what I usually tell my patients, and I will say the same thing here, we look at our mole and we should look at it called A, B, C, D, and E.
Yes.
So we look at a mole.
I love that.
And we want to cut the mole in half and look at it with an invisible knife and say, what does it look like? So both sides should look symmetrical.
Correct.
So A stands for asymmetry. B stands for borders. So we want to have smooth borders.
Yes.
C stands for color. So we want to have one color. Many times if the mole is changing in color, there's a blue or black pigment.
Yeah.
We don't like that. D stands for diameter. So I always say nothing bigger than a tip of your pinky.
Correct.
And E stands for evolving. So if the mole is changing, if there is any pain, if there is any tenderness, if there is itching, right?
Yes.
Come and see us, because we want to make sure, we want to do a biopsy to make sure what's going on. Because if you catch it early on, the prognosis is the best.
The best, because we always get great result and medication. So how do we treat something as early as possible if we are looking at a mole that we see that the ABC
Correct.
is coming to it? So how can we go about changing?
And what I usually do in my clinical setting is we do a biopsy to identify the depth of abnormal cells.
Okay.
And once we find how deep it is and how aggressive it is, we take appropriate margins and we cut it out. Right? If it's a melanoma and if it's an invasive melanoma, then we refer you to a medical oncologist where you can get a chemotherapy, you can get immunotherapy, you can get a radiation on it. So depending on the depth of the skin cancer, we can talk about the prognosis of that skin cancer. But most commonly, if it's early, simple small excision in the clinic, under 30 minutes, we are free and cure.
That's it. And we keep moving forward.
Yes.
So it's important truly to really examine your skin early on.
Correct.
Every time you're taking a shower, every time you are changing your children, keep a look at them to make sure that you know exactly what's normal and what is not normal for
and
you.
anytime there is a change, so if you see that the mole is changing in color or a size or a shape, please come and see us.
How important is it for us? I know we have our primary care doctor. How important is it to have a dermatologist in our toolbox anytime?
Yes. I think it's very, very crucial because the skin is our largest organ.
Come
and
on,
the skin
speak to that.
Skin cancer is the most common cancer. So if you were to take a cancer as a whole, skin cancer is the most common cancer. So it's the largest organ. It's the most common cancer. So your dermatologist in your pocket is the best thing you can do because you want to keep up with it. And the good news is that it's preventable, right?
Is.
So if
That's
you catch
right.
it early on, you have the best prognosis.
I love it.
Absolutely, going to a dermatologist once a year is what we recommend.
First time of the year, right? I usually do January. And you look at my schedule, you will see all my doctors and my dermatologist is right there on the top because I want to make sure. Now, summer's coming.
Yes.
This is the time when I don't have a summer body per se, but everybody's out there trying to get their body ready, but they forget about their skin.
Sunscreen.
Their skin, to get your skin ready for the summer. What should we do to be summer ready when it comes to our skin?
I think that's a phenomenal question. And in Arizona, I think summer is all year long, right?
Yes.
We get this harsh UV rays all the time. So the first thing you need to do to get your skin ready for the summer or the summer ready skin is gentle cleansing. So you want to wash your skin with a gentle soap, like a mild soap, like Dove soap. And then you want to moisturize your skin, right? So you want to have a good moisturizer. And then after you moisturize, you want to wear sunscreen. Sunscreen is something that I will harp on all day long. Want to year around. And that's why it's called sunscreen, not, something that you're going to do it once a day or, once only in the summer, but you have to protect your skin from all kind of UV radiation. So you start first thing in the morning, 30 minutes before you leave the home, and you want to reapply the sunscreen every 2 hours. So if you go for a hike, if you're going to go for a swim, if you're going to go do any outdoorsy activity in your backyard, you need to reapply that sunscreen every 2 hours.
That's
and
important.
Of course, the wide brim hat and a UV protective clothing, full sleeve shirts are essential for us because it really, really helps, preventing skin damage, sun damage, and of course, aging.
Yes.
Nobody wants to look old, right?
That's right. And the sun is our enemy when it comes to that because of the rays in it. So we talk about the outside part of getting ready. What about internally? Let's talk a little bit about hydration.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So I think our body is made up of a lot of water.
Yeah, 98 to 95 to 99%, right?
And our skin is made up of 64% of water.
Come on.
So what water does, it does circulation, absorption, and it also flushes out your toxin.
Correct.
It gives your skin that vitality and a firmness and the glow. So water is very, very crucial for inside hydration as well as outside exposure of your skin.
Important.
So it's so crucial. I would say usually everyone should be drinking anywhere from 2 to 3 liters depending on their renal function.
Yes.
But 2 to 3 liters of water is what I recommend every single day.
What is the little test that we usually do that is very, very quickly that we could tell whether we are dehydrated or not?
Yeah.
Besides like the dryness, we feel it's too late by the time your lips are cracking and everything.
Exactly.
We call it turgor. So talk a little bit about how we can check turgor.
So if you were to pinch it and if the skin falls and back to normal elasticity, that means you're well hydrated. But if it's taking time to,
go down.
Yeah, that means we are dehydrated.
Looks like we are well hydrated.
We both
right
are
now.
well hydrated.
So I'm excited about that. Thank you so much. Well, this was we unpack a lot of information right here, right now, for the people to really grasp and utilize. I think that's the part that really makes sense to me. Is that when you hear good information, you don't only hear it, but you apply it because action is better than
not taking any action.
Come on. So if we were going to finish with this and you wanted to get some, not medical advice, but really truly, as you were talking to your sister, your mom, or your cousin in the family, you were going to give them some good advice, what to do to be able to protect themselves from getting the skin cancers, to be dehydrated. What would you say to our audience today?
I'm going to say 3 things. My first thing is sunscreen. Sunscreen and sunscreen.
That's what she tells me all the time.
Sunscreen.
So we know it. That's it. So this is the best protection that we have because we are here on Earth and the sun is going to do what it does around the Earth every single day. There's not a day we're not going to have it. People have also a tendency to think if it's cloudy that we are not getting some of the rain.
Exactly.
It's even worse.
Exactly.
Because we forget.
We think it's cloudy. We don't need to wear sunscreen.
Yeah.
So any visible light requires a sunscreen.
Correct. Like even the light we are here in the studio. Good thing we put our sunscreens on because these lights are popping right now.
It is
They're
popping.
really good.
It is
so
popping.
I'm so grateful that you said yes to this. We've been trying to get this on the book, but it's important for us to have this conversation. I'm looking forward to have you back for us to talk more about different type of things that we could do as a dermatologist for not only women of color, for all women, because as you said, our skin is one of the largest organ that we have in our body, and if we don't protect it, then we are going to find ourselves into trouble.
Yes.
So thank you for joining us. This was amazing. I appreciate you, and every one of you. We are today telling you, take care of your skin because it is the largest organ that you have, and if you protect it, it will serve you well. Thank you.